Oh.
If I rule the world,
I free
would
all
I
my
my
sons.
sons?
Black
Hey,
knight.
with that being said, if I ruled the world, what is something that you would change, right? What is something that you would change? If
First
you
of
could,
all,
if you had a possibility, it doesn't have to be anything serious.
what I change is this weak ass intros you be having. Welcome back to the best podcast, up and coming podcast.
Wow.
Grumpy Gills Kickback. Yeah, you are boy. Big Stump over there. You know what I'm saying? You got your boy Stumpy Stump the Grump over here. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so what I would change in the world.
You falling asleep? That's why you had to do
Look,
that?
Go on those side quiz. Point to where he landing at the same time. Especially, I know what I'm talking about. Then there's a lot of things. And literally,
I was there was one time like the guys didn't do something, I was going to snap the seats. You know what I mean? So I think if I had to go to like a cartoon basis, but jump up like 100%.
I'm just going through phases of life where I feel like this is necessary for me to.
Look, listen, Linda.
You was getting a little tired?
That's not
Because you're
here
old.
nor there. You a year behind me, boy. Don't act like hey, you gonna be 40 next year. I want to hear it. So at least I don't look 40. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, no, I think one big thing. It's already been slowly happening. We would be legal everywhere, like even in the military. We would be 100%. It'd be cool. The only rule would be like you can't smoke at work. That's it. Your off time, you do what you do. You come to work, you good. But that's the biggest thing for me. You know what I mean? I do believe that medicinal does help you out, does help your brain, as long as you ain't smoking it 24/7. You know what I mean? But another thing I would change, I think 100%, this is going to be political. We need to go back and rewrite the Constitution. We need to go back and rewrite and rebuild the found. We're in a whole new century of time. And we're still living off a document that's roughly 200 to 300 years old. So we need to go back and definitely look and rewrite the whole Constitution down with some new, whatever we need, and rewrite all of this. But because we're still definitely still suffering from old constitutional laws, I should say, in a sense. And what else would be another thing I would change? Oh, there would be a section of every interstate and highway, 2 lanes in every interstate and highway. Now you can go as fast as you fucking want. You pay a toll, you can get in that motherfucker and fly, just like the Autobahn. I think that would be pretty dope. And it's like guarded off. So it's like,
I don't like that.
huh? You could like kind of like the Easy Pass and all that stuff. And
no, I get what you're saying.
You'd have like
some of y'all can't drive.
You'd have like a Zoom lane. You could just fucking get on the crew and go. You know what I mean?
110%. Some of y'all can't drive. Some of y'all can't drive.
Hey, Arizona already started. I just read the article, man. They talking about opening up some of these freeways and highways. You just let it rip. What other things I would change? I think I would make, and this is an idea I had even when I was little. I think school should be based off times that people want to go to school. And what I mean by that is people say, I'm not a morning person. I'd rather do an afternoon. What if you had the option where you could start school at noon to 6 by 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning until 3?
You talking about like we have night school?
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Even as or what if you could have schools that fit work schedules so that way your kids in school while you're at work, by the time you get off, you can pick your school up. I think we're at a time and a place where we could set up schools like that. But
I believe that's some places do have a function like that where you go to school if you already have so many credits and then you can go to work the rest of the day or whatever.
Oh, and one last thing, I think you should have free range of travel, right? Just have your passport. You shouldn't have to pay visas and that stuff. Just stamp like you're in a country. Don't break our rules. You know what I'm saying? Be an upstanding person, and you should be able to free range travel wherever the fuck you want. But I still don't get why this is go back to conspiracy. It's like I still don't get why there's all these trees and you can't go down to Antarctica. But you should be able to have free range of travel. Man or woman.
Touch Touch on yours, the free range of travel. I believe everybody in America, because I see this in other countries, there's been many countries I've been to. I believe it should be mandatory that everybody in America has a passport.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Everybody, the most basic thing ever. Everybody should have a passport. That's
Yeah, no, 100%. And now because too, you even have to have the travel ID to go fly local, right? Like
yeah.
you have to have it or you can't. Well, you have to have it or you have your passport. I think you pay like $11 a year or some shit. I don't know.
You have to either have the real ID or your passport to use. But my thing is, if we made it mandatory for everybody in America to have a passport, that would serve all of that, no matter what, because passports are good for 10 years in America, at least.
And last thing, in-state flights, like going from state to state, round trip $100. No matter what state you're going to,
flat rate,
$100 round trip. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying,
hey,
flat rate, $100.
Hey, look, that's how they got rid of Spirit. They got rid of Spirit.
You know what I'm saying?
They got rid of Spirit because of it.
Yeah, I think you get more flights, more money. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, and what I mean by that is if you're literally flying over to the next state, like if I'm flying from California to Arizona, it's $100. But if I'm flying from California to like New Mexico, it's like $125. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, 110%.
Yeah, that's how I see it. But you just going from state to state, $100 flat rate, round trip. Monday through Friday, Friday through Saturday, whatever. Those are the few things that would change, I think. Make things better.
My man said, I don't care how far you're flying. Louisiana, California, $100.
Hey, and then we're probably realistically ain't gonna see this, but $1.75 gas again.
Sir, you're wishing. I'm surprised you said $1.75.
Hey, I was being wished. I always see 99 cents one time as we were driving from Arizona to Indianapolis.
Bro. You saw magic. You saw magic then.
But that was like 20.
No,
that was like 25 years ago because we drove. That was like let's see how old I was like 15. I was like 12 or 13 when we drove from Arizona to Indianapolis, and I forgot what state we were crossing, but they had I seen a 99-cent gas station. I was like, holy cow! I thought that was like the cheapest I ever seen. But yeah, I think there's a few things I would change. There's a lot more, like in the sense of like political and all this other stuff. But we ain't gonna get too deep in ways that actually will really start too tight, and I don't want to get too far into my political views. But as far as making the world a better place, yeah. Oh, international flights. You should have like smoke some weed on international flights. Relax. You should be able to just be a long flight.
There's no smoking on the plane.
I'm just saying, you should be able to bring some gummies. If you can't smoke, at least be able to bring some Eddies and enjoy that long ass flight. You know what I'm saying?
I know some people just go crazy off edibles. Yeah.
What you got, man? What's some things you would change?
Hey, look, like I said, you brought some valid points. So those are some good things. Some things I agree with, some things I don't agree with for certain purposes and reasons. But the passport thing, I believe everybody should have a passport. 110%. I believe everybody should have a passport. That is a major thing, especially if babies have to get passports because their family's in the military or they have to go overseas for whatever reason. There's no reason why you as an adult shouldn't have a passport.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're just traveling state to state. But something I would change that I would like us to see go back to as a country is having certain classes like home economics, wood shop, stuff like that. Developing trades and stuff in high school, right? Because
even as early as middle school.
No, go ahead. That's what you said.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, even as early as middle school, I was doing shopping, home economics in middle school, bro. So, yeah, I agree with you.
A lot of that stuff. I would like to see that brought back because, to me personally, I understand a lot of people don't go to college for whatever reason because I didn't go to I went to college for a year, and I was like, I don't want to do this. But there's a lot of people dropping out of high school. Don't get me wrong. A lot of them are being successful in the career field that they want to, like being tattoo artists or chefs. and stuff like that. But if we brought a lot of that back to high school, because it would be easier for a lot of people to either finish high school because of that or get a GED. Instead of people walking around here, you hear stories of people walking around here who didn't complete high school or didn't get their GED and they can only go so far in the job field. They might have a great aptitude. That's the word I was looking for. A great aptitude for the job field that they're in, but the excuse of the owner or the boss, whoever's in charge or the manager in charge, is, oh, you don't have any credentials behind it. You don't even have your GED to get this position. But they're the best in the bold and stuff like that. But if we teach our children, one, we need to go back to teaching stuff that we don't even use anymore because there's still places that use it, like writing a check or managing your bank account.
Yeah.
Like
I think
high school should be where you're learning basic economic things of how to deal with money. That should be a class in itself. And I remember at one point in time, that was a class where we were taught how to count money, how to do this, and how much we're spending and stuff like that. That was part of math, but also too, there was economics going through high school. And some people are gonna be like, oh no, high school you go to. As I've learned growing up and working with people from different parts of the country, we're not all taught the same thing in school, in the school system. We're not all taught the same thing.
no, not. You know,
It's crazy. We're not
you know
all
what they
taught the
say,
same
right?
thing.
The school system is
So
based off what we're supposed to learn based off the
where we
agreements
live in.
that no, also too that this kind of goes back to conspiracies, families that run the country.
Yeah.
But to concur with what you're saying, I'm not saying I'm not bad at math. What I'm saying is that let's do math that gonna make sense for you as an adult. I think we should have an adult math class where it's like in a sense home economics, but it's like, all right,
Yeah.
in this class, we're gonna learn how you guys are gonna learn how to pay bills, right? So you know what I'm saying? You learn how to do stuff like that. I don't know what that would look like, but that would be something. And learn how to pay bills and like manage. I literally think they should have a class for that, where like a whole semester of like different, like you create
No,
different scenarios for the students.
100%.
You know what I mean? Hey, you're
Because a lot of the
$100,000 in debt.
things, boom, right there.
Yeah,
Right
like
there.
you know what I'm saying? Like you're $100,000 in debt. You got this, you got that. What is your fucking? What are some scenarios that you could do? You know what I mean? And the kids have to go research. Well, I'm $100,000 in debt. What can I do to pay this off? Things like that to get their actual brain
Or
working.
I
To
don't
trigger
care.
problem solving.
This is the thing. This is the thing right here. I don't mean to cut you off. I need to say this because it's gonna blow. It's gonna hurt my brain. We need to learn basic skills of being an adult. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't learn that to be basically adult about paying bills. About hey, at least know what the lights on your car mean versus
Yeah.
just riding around and then I don't know why the engine blew up. Don't get me wrong, we can put these gender roles, which will be another episode in itself. I will teach my daughters how the same thing I teach my son, how to change a tire. Because if nobody's around or you don't have cell phone signal, which is crazy now that most places don't have cell phone signal, but hey, at this point in time, once again, this is where you need to be taught these basic skills of hey, if you have a flat tire, change your tire till you get to a certain
Well,
place.
I don't know about
Another thing too that I probably would taught, but some people say you can't teach that, but yes, you can. It's situational awareness.
Yes, you can. And I think there could be a
Situational
class.
awareness.
It'd be easy to put a class on. Say you got, oh, I even thought like a scenario. Say like, all right, the teacher like, all right, she lets everybody in, and she stops one student. She's all right. I want you to be. We have the fucking when we're going through AT, anti-terrorism certs. He'd be like, all right, I want you to be. You're gonna be the stabber today, right? And the kids just have to try to like then the kid sits down. Just know they don't know who it is. The kids, she says a blurb to the classroom, like, all right, hey, this is the situation. There's somebody in this classroom right now that's not doing the best and they're feeling some type of way, and they may have a weapon on them. Be conscious where this is the lesson for the day, right? And then like the kids signal to get up and do so like things like that, like in that type of situation, like where they got a problem solved through a regular day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something like that. Because that's basically what it all boils down to. It's like they need the more problem solving skills. Like we need classes like that versus, and ain't nobody fucking trying to sit there and learn science, math. Like ain't nobody.
Whoa.
Look, and I'm not saying,
Look, check this out. Sir,
what I'm
sir,
saying is,
we're not
look,
about
hold
to
on,
we're
listen.
not about to create a school of assassins, okay?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I think as you get older, you realize math is important, but it's not as important as basic life skill problem solving. And I don't think we trigger that enough in our young ages when our brains are more developmental versus in our adult age, right? And where we start getting stuck in our ways and not really wanting to learn anything new, right? But if you start creating problems, like hard problem solving early on in life, it makes you better as an adult. But I do agree with you. Like some of the old stuff we grew up on needs to come back. It needs to come back. Like I said, I remember growing up and I had home ec. We did like an interview week where basically we had to dress up nice every week and do it. And our teacher sat us down and did an interview with us, right? And then she would bring in different teachers. This teacher was a shop owner, or this teacher, and we had to do interviews with them. Why should I hire you? All that stuff. Some of these kids nowadays, you know, they talk to my mom. She's been in the grocery business for over 30 years, and she's been hiring people for 20 plus years. And some people come in. She's one time telling me somebody came in, freaking UGG slides and a polo top with fucking black pajama pants on.
Yeah.
For an interview. Like, it's crazy. I agree with you, man, full heartedly. That's something with changing that stuff. Yeah, it doesn't need to change. It needs to come back. Realistically, it just needs to come back.
Yeah, no, it needs to come back. You want to know another thing? And I was talking to a good friend of mine about this the other day, and I thought about this for a very long time. And I learned this from working with other countries, is that either we make it a mandatory 2 years that you have to serve in the military, it doesn't matter which branch or whatever, or if you can't get into the military, at least do 2 years of civil service.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that.
I get it. There's people who can get it. We can go to the whole fact of if you automatically get in college or you qualify to get in college. But those ones that don't have the scholarship or the funding, go do 2 years of civil service. Go do 2 years of the military. And those 2 years don't start until after you get out of boot camp, right? If you don't make it through boot camp for whatever reason, 2 years of civil service, I feel like that structure will give a lot of people better discipline and consistency in certain things in their life and help identify certain issues that people have. And instead of, oh yeah, I need to take a gap year. Don't get me wrong, a gap year is great from college and go travel and see the world. But with the military, especially us being in the Navy, we got to travel and see so many different cultures and be a part of so many different things. And that's why I feel like 110% that 2 years of civil service or even 2 years of the military, I'll get a lot of people on track. Because a lot of people then, okay, cool, I'm ready to go to college. I'm ready to get my mental right and start my life, right? I'm ready to get off the block and do something different. Or that's a lot of people's escape right there, is to get out that small town or to get out that mindset of all I can do is sell drugs or do something crazy or don't make sports.
I'm gonna get cooked.
That's what I believe.
I'm gonna get cooked for this, and you might agree with this. I think they should have something, and in my head, this is what I think they have something called the swipe program. And what I mean is by that is you got Chirac, right? So you got all these young kids who want to be so-called gangbangers and shooters, right? But I feel like they should have, you got like the DEA or whatever. They should have like a number you can call, like, hey, my son's out here trying to be a gangbanger, blah, blah, blah. And you call the swipe number and they find his location and they come swipe his ass up and put him in like a boot camp to go to the military. Like no matter what age he is, he's in a boot camp style school. And then he is required to go do at least 2 years in the military before he get back. You know what I'm saying? To save his life type stuff instead of being out on the streets. Yeah. Like you just call the number and they basically just come and like as long as you're consent as a parent, they understand that he is going to be in a military style school and boot camp and he will be required to do 2 to 4 years of the military but where his life will probably be more safe than being out here. You'll still be able to get contact with your kid and all that and go visit, but like I think it should be like if you just call swipe, hey, come swipe my kid up.
I,
If he ain't
I don't
fast.
I don't disagree with you on that because I think they did have something like that at a certain point in time. But also too, they used to when certain people would go to court and depending on how bad the charge was, the judge would be like, hey, you either go to jail or you go to the military.
Yeah.
I met somebody like I met a couple people like that they only had the choice of they either go to jail or they go to the military and they chose the military.
And I think it
Now,
also
I'm not saying this, right? I'm not saying the military will fix all the problems in your life and fix your personality and fix your character flaws. No, what I'm saying is it'll give you a stepping stone because that's what the military is for most people is a stepping stone. It'll give you a constant paycheck. It'll show you how to somewhat be an adult. For some people, they don't grow up the whole time they're in, which is magical in itself, but it literally shows you how to, hey, I got to put aside this much money for this month because this is how I'm going to live. I got to pay bills for this. I got to take care of this. This is how much this costs. Don't get me wrong. In certain places, yes, they give you the money. They give you a breakdown of how much money you're getting. And you need to understand how to balance that money. They also provide you with resources, how to budget that money. And that's why it scares me sometimes. And like I said, the military and civil service isn't the end all be all. It's not going to fix the person that you are because you and I both seen it before. We've seen people get out the military broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying the military is the end all be all, but it'll give you some structure, it'll give you some discipline. It'll show you if you let it. If you let it, how to be a better person. And it give you some guidance in life when you're like, I don't know what I want to do with myself. Instead of wasting your first couple of years of college talking about I want to be a basket weaver.
Didn't know you did not just say basket weaver.
And then also too, it'll give you that experience that most jobs are looking for in leadership and stuff like that, versus getting out with a bachelor's degree and they're saying, oh yeah, we need you to have 5 years of experience doing X, Y, and Z. But what were you about to add on to this?
No, what I'm gonna say is I think a lot of people also get out because they've had too many high frustrations of bad leadership. And then so they just want to get out and they also don't understand the benefits that come with being a veteran. And so they lose out on that part too. So now they're just out, not knowing what to do. Like you said, the military is a stepping stone, whether you do 4 or 20, it's a stepping stone for something, right?
Yeah.
But understand the benefits that come with it, right? Hopefully you're not as knucklehead as you are and you get kicked out for some dumb stuff and you can at least just do your time, right? I'm not trying to make it sound like it's a prison yard. You have a little bit more freedom and will being in the military.
Yeah.
There's just some rules you got to follow, to be honest. But there's rules in life anyway. So it's like,
there's rules in the civilian world you got to follow.
There's rules in the civilian world. You got criminal speeding if you're fucking 10 miles over and you can still go to jail. So just understand there's rules and everything. But the way I see it is like, at least this gives you a bigger stepping stone at 19, 20, 18, 19, 20, your younger years in life versus trying to do 4 years of college and you're going to come out with college debt.
You know something else before we put a pin in this? One more thing that I would like to change is the max age, right? The max age for being in office should be 60. That's it. Stop it. Stop. There's no reason why you should be in office after into your late 60s, your early 80s. There's no reason. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be ageist or anything. There's a reason. At a certain point, you cannot function. Don't get me wrong, there are some 60-year-olds out there who are functioning, but at a certain point, the decisions that you have to make and sit through and do the things that you have to do, you need to give your body a rest. You need to give your body a rest. Or your body's going to take that rest on its own, as we're seeing with certain people who are in office right now, right? It doesn't matter because if we're looking at documentaries that talk about, hey, back in the 60s, the 70s, and we see you on that documentary and we see you still in office today, what real changes have you made? It might be time for you to step aside and let somebody else take that seat instead of holding up that seat.
Another thing I would change, the one last one. Two, I think the youngest you should be in office should be 30. And I think after 5 years of service in the office, you shouldn't get a lifetime pension. I don't think that's fair. I don't. I think you know what I'm saying? Like
I agree.
they needed to raise that number. That's crazy. You only have to do 5. That's just like it being in the military. Okay, I did 5 year military, and now I get a lifetime pension. That don't even make sense?
Yeah,
You
dude,
gotta do
20.
You got to do 20 years.
20.
Yeah. And I get it. Office life is a little bit different, but maybe you at least got to do 15 years in office before you get a lifetime. And it should only be a portion, not the same amount basically you're going to be getting since you got out. So that's just.
You want to know something else? You want to know something else that I want them to explain? Is let's talk about it, because a lot of people don't understand this in school and stuff like that. Because I understood it in school because I used to do speech and debate. When we're talking about passing laws and bills, we can't just blame one party on why certain things don't pass. What people don't understand is the reason why certain parties don't talk about or try to approve certain bills is because other people try to sneak stuff into the bill to add on to it. So instead of us being conspiracy theory folk, which are the greatest thing in the world, because majority of the time conspiracy theory folk are usually right, how about this? Instead of just blaming the party, how about you come out and say the reason why? Hey, we didn't pass this school budget bill because such and such tried to sneak this in where we had to dump sewage over here and it was going to get $1 billion kickback. If we're talking about bringing shaming back, let's do it that way. Let's explain why these bills aren't getting passed instead of saying, oh, this party just didn't want to vote on it because of this. There's a reason why. Have those people come out. Hey, explain why you didn't want to vote on this, why we didn't vote yay or nay, yay on this bill, knowing, hey, the government's going to shut down. How about we do that? Come out and say why. And that will probably get more people out to vote and understand what's going on instead of everybody speculating. If we're clear cut and transparent, especially if people keep talking about, hey, we're being clear cut and transparent, then let's be clear cut and transparent. And with that being said, what are some things that you would change if you could rule the world? We love y'all. Stay easy. Grumpy Gills out.
These generation.
Love, peace, chicken grease. We out.